Kay, this has been a really great neighborhood for me to work in. And one of the things I love about this neighborhood is it's so close to the lake, and there's so many, actually some neighborhoods within Edgewater,
Right.
which makes it really, exciting. It goes from Foster to Sheridan all the way up to Devon, all the way to Ravenswood, which many people don't realize that. So it's amazing between the frame housing, many 6 flats and 3 flats. It's just a wonderful combination.
And there's been a lot of condo conversions, right, in this area?
A
A lot of the older buildings are being renovated.
Yeah, I think most of that's done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, right now what people are looking to do mainly is to take 2 flats and convert them into single-family homes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then wherever there's any place left, what you'll see is they're bringing down the old frames to build. That's changing.
It sounds like it's changing a lot. And I know that mortgages, we're seeing a lot more mortgages in this area.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a hot area.
Absolutely. And what kinds of mortgages are you seeing, and what are available to homeowners these days?
Well, there's a lot in the city of Chicago. The city of Chicago came out with a home buyer program where they're giving grants to people, and also there's the IDA program in Cook County. There are different programs that we have with 3% down. It all depends on how somebody qualifies.
And when you say qualify, what do you mean by that?
We're looking at what is their credit score, their middle credit score, their FICO score. That determines, a lot of them are 620, 640 are the minimums that these programs are looking for. Their incomes, what are their incomes? Some of them are capped out at 77 for conventional, some of them are capped out at 133.
What does that mean?
In other words, it's income limits. So if you make over this amount, then you can't get into that program.
Gotcha.
But there are some areas that are development areas that are considered in Chicago, and they don't have any income limits.
Okay.
So it really depends on where they're looking and what programs. So the best thing they can do is talk to me and work with me on getting pre-qualified, so I can figure out and work with them on the best options and best programs.
Right, I agree. One of the things I encounter is that people say, because my credit is bad, I'm going to get charged a little more. Should this prevent someone from trying or at least getting into the market?
Oh, absolutely not. There's programs for people with less than perfect credit, like FHA. And, it's kind of yes, you're right, the rate will depend on the credit score, but the MI factor is the same for somebody with a 600 as it is for a 780 FHA.
What's MI?
Well, if you put less than 20% down on a mortgage, you've got to pay mortgage insurance. And that's an insurance you're paying monthly to ensure that the lender has adequate equity in your home in case you default.
Right.
All right, and it doesn't do anything for the borrower, but they have to pay it because they're putting less than 20% down. With FHA, you can put as little as 3.5% down. With FHA, there's always mortgage insurance.
Right.
So a lot of times we get people into an FHA loan and get them started. After a year or two, we look at their credit again and look at maybe refinancing them into a conventional with no MI. Maybe their home is appreciated and now they have 20% equity.
Right, I agree. So you've helped answer one of the questions that I run into so commonly, and I try to encourage people to get into the market right now as it's appreciating. Because
Absolutely.
any penalty that they feel that they're paying as a result of putting 3.5% down or FHA, I think is well overcome by the appreciation that they're getting in their homes.
Right, because when they do get that mortgage, they're going to set up their payments every month, and they're going to be on time, and their credit is going to go way up. So in a year or two, especially if their home's appreciating, we can turn around and refinance them at a better rate a lot of times and get rid of the MI factor if they've got 20% equity by that point.
Absolutely. So someone has 6 months left in their mortgage,
Okay.
and I know that the monthly payment is considered a debt.
Right.
So if they're moving into their new place, how do they qualify going into a new place with that debt still showing on?
Well, really depends. Are they going to take that home that they're living in and turn it into rental property?
No, they're actually going to take the proceeds and dump it into the new place.
Okay, so one or two things. They can either sell. We can take a sale the same day that we close,
Okay.
and have those proceeds go straight to the title company for their down payment. Or if they can qualify on the DTI, the debt to income, with that payment still, and a lot of times this happens, they can take those proceeds, then when they sell, after they buy their new home, and they sell their old home, they can take $20,000 or $30,000.
Okay.
They can go to the lender, the investor that now has it, and they're going to they can do one or two things. They can just do a principal buy down and get rid of the MI.
Right.
Because once the loan hits 78% loan to value, the principal, the MI drops off.
Right,
So if they pay it down, that'll drop off. Or they can see if that investor will do what they call a recast, where they take a chunk of money and they pay it on the loan, and they recast their payments.
So basically, they recalculate the whole payment based
All
on the
over
new
30 years.
amount.
Yes.
Oh, great.
There's not a whole lot for me to do at Clarity.
Yeah,
Most of
true.
them go pretty easy. But I love to be there because one of the things I love is getting people into a home
Right.
and making them their home purchase dreams come true.
Wow.
I love that. So for me to be there and get that family into their first home is just, it's a great feeling. And it's worth some of the issues that we have to go through.
Absolutely.
Because when I work with somebody, it's a team.
Right. It is.
That borrower has to work with me to resolve any issues that come up. I mean, things do come up. It's mortgages.
It is.
And nowadays,
It's real estate.
absolutely. And everybody wants to say it's so easy. Oh, sure, I could do that. It's like, yeah, you could do that, but did you see their credit score? Did you see
Right.
their collection?
We make it look easy.
We make it look easy at the end.